So I mean, the thing about it is how you want to lock down everything, like every single AAA banger Sony wants to lock down. Like, they don't want to get Xbox Game Pass, nothing. I don't know what's going on over there at Sony. It's like, we don't want any competition and we don't want to compete at the same time. So how do you not want to make a game to compete pretty much with Call of Duty if there's $70 billion on the line? Do you really think Activision don't want to take $70 billion? Come on, they're probably paying way over than what it's even worth already. So, but they want to make sure they lock it down and pretty much spread it across the world with Game Pass, because you can play Game Pass so many different ways. You know what I'm saying? You can play it on a phone, on tablets, on your consoles, PC, even televisions now, like these smart TVs. If they had the app, you can even play Game Pass on that. So it's just like, man, there's so many different ways you can play. You know what I'm saying? So they have a really, really big issue. They have a really, really big issue with that, trying to lock down things. And they have become so spoiled. The gaming industry have spoiled Sony to make them think that they cannot do anything wrong. First of all, a lot of these studios are grimy too, because if you're doing backdoor deals with them and you know you can make so much more money on multiplats, you probably have something against Xbox. Like, personally, like the studios, if you're because obviously Sony have to hit their lineup and say, hey, we want Final Fantasy, like Square Enix. I don't even respect them anymore. They're just a lowdown to Sony. Like, they do so many backdoor exclusive deals with Sony. Like, they're in bed together. Like, they really are sleeping together, because there's nothing that they should really be locking down exclusive, really. Like, really, what Square Enix should be locking down? If Sony doesn't own that studio, not that I know of my knowledge, I don't think they bought them yet. I know there were talks about them trying to buy Square Enix, but Sony don't even really want to buy them like that. They don't want to buy studios. They just want to buy the license and the rights to the game so that they don't have to spend that extra money, because they're greedy, they're grimy, and they're always scheming and trying to come up with new plans to scam their fan base and to pretty much get over on everybody, like raising the price for PS5s everywhere, all across the globe. Like, this is crazy, except the US. Now, you know that was going to cause all kind of controversy once all these other countries here, oh, you know, well, everybody else PS5 is going up. How come US? How come the USA? How come the United States is not going up? You know, that's not, they don't, you're gonna have people that care, you're gonna have people that don't care. You know, I just so happy to be one of the people that care, you know. And it's a lot of people was out here picking at people that they can't get a PS5, and if you're poor, why are you even worrying about a PS5? You should be worrying about paying your bills and trying to eat and survive. Like, it is some real toxic, nasty fanboys out there, and just people in general. Like, I don't even know why they would even think like that. But coming from Sony's front office with Jim Ryan up there, I can kind of see why Sony fan base can be so toxic, like the fanboys and the Sony ponies. Now, the fans of PlayStation, they don't really care. You know, they're kind of like a casual gamer. Yeah, they may choose to play on PlayStation, but they're not as bad as the fanboys. Like, the fanboys all on Twitter trying to back everything up that Jim Ryan does. Like, this guy is, I'm talking about, they're stealing $5 billion from their fan base. You know, they don't want to compete with Call of Duty. They're trying to they're doing blocking rights from stopping games from even coming to Game Pass, Xbox, Nintendo, or PC, so they can hog up all of the exclusives are going to go over to PlayStation 5, PS4, and maybe PC if they choose to, because they feel like, okay, you know, PC is a different community. They're off doing their own thing, kind of like Nintendo. So they don't really see them as a threat, but they see Xbox as a threat. I don't know why, but that's just the way gaming is. They see them more so like Nintendo and PC. They're kind of off doing their own thing. So that's why I choose to play on PC, because you get the best of both worlds. You can jump into either ecosystem that you want to. You can either play PlayStation or you can play Xbox, or you can get emulators and play Nintendo and old school retro games like Sega. So and Android and Apple games on PC as well. On what is it, BlueStacks 5 or whatever. So pretty much, you know, all of this, you know, pretty much fanboying and console war is pretty much gotten 10 times worse because Sony does not want to lose Call of Duty. And we can't even focus on gaming and other topics right now because it's so heated between Phil Spencer and Jim Ryan right now, and it's just too good to just let it go. Just you have to touch on this story. It's inadequate. They feel like Xbox is lying. After 3 years, they're definitely going to make it exclusive to pretty much Game Pass on Xbox. That AAA banger will belong to Xbox, and they are free to do whatever they want to do with that game. And Jim Ryan knows it because he's doing whatever he wants to do with Final Fantasy, Spider-Man, Resident Evils, Lockdown DLC packs, and other stuff like that, other little backdoor exclusive deals. It's so many games. I'm really going to work hard on finding the list of all the games that Sony blocks from coming to any other platform. I'm gonna dig deep and find all of the games so these fanboys can see how toxic Sony really is. Like, they think it's okay to just lock down. That's actually hurting gaming, because after Sony give them their bag of whatever they're gonna pay to lock down their game, that studio can be in trouble. Because if that game doesn't make, if this game flops, like let's say Final Fantasy don't sell over 10 mil, we already know it's going to drop on PC. The remake, remaster, whatever, we already know. Resident Evils, they come out, they don't do good, they're going to come to, you know, quick cash grab, they're going to come to PC, they don't do good, you know. So now it can either be good for sales to pretty much compete with Call of Duty by them. They're trying to hurry up and lock down all of this competition on PS5 side to compete with all of the studios that pretty much Xbox have bought and Call of Duty. On top of that, the juggernaut of all of them. So now you're gonna have Starfield, Redfall, all of Bethesda games, all of Activision games, and then you're gonna have Call of Duty at the top over here on Game Pass. Sony knows that's almost impossible to beat. Like, you almost like, if you know gaming, that's gonna be like almost impossible for them. Xbox is not going anywhere. This is going to be a dogfight to the end. And now that Xbox have opened their wallets, they're not just going to stop at Call of Duty. The Xbox already said it. They're going to buy more big titles, more big names. They're bringing more quality. Now they're doing upgrades to Xbox to bring more quality. I just seen all the blogs and vlogs. So now they're going to match PlayStation quality type games of, you know, God of Wars, of Horizons, and, you know, all of those type quality games are now going to start coming over to Xbox. So clearly Xbox can win this generation. You know, if they win it, cool. If they don't, cool. You know, it's whatever. I'm not really saying that I would want them to blow PlayStation out of water. I'm not saying I want PlayStation to blow Xbox out of water. All I'm saying is I just want to see Xbox compete with PlayStation fair. Or should I say Sony, because Sony's not even allowing PlayStation to really do what the console is designed to do, and it's designed to do multiple things now. Like subscription service like PS Plus Premium, they don't even care about the service that was supposed to clearly compete with Game Pass. All of these AAA multi-plat bangers should be in the PlayStation Plus subscription service, but they're not. They're not. They're locked behind a $70 price tag, gatekeeping, low down, greedy, grimy, Decepticonic Sony, and they don't want to release nothing that we want. Like, it's like, what are we gonna do, guys? Like we are pretty much being just strung along like we're little puppets when it comes to gaming now, and just whatever Jim Ryan over there says, that's what everybody got to do. You're not gonna let them make Days Gone. You're not gonna let them make a part 2, but you're gonna make a TV show. They want to get into movies. They want to bring all the AAA bangers over to movies. Like, what is going on over there at Sony, bro? Like, You don't want to compete with Call of Duty. You're making all your AAA bangers, movies, and TV shows. You don't want to allow the actual PlayStation, to your first party game developers. I'm just talking about the first party game developers. They don't want to allow them to pretty much spread their wings and fly, and pretty much unlock all of the PS5 power. It's like they're being held back by Sony so they can protect a $70 price tag and now a price hike on the PS5, which they're making the PS5 actually cheaper, but they're charging more for a PS5. How can you make a console cheaper but charge more? How are you trying to cut costs in building the console after you said it costs you an arm and a leg to make? I'm just saying, those Decepticons over there, I'm just speechless right now. I do not know what's going on. I just want to know the direction Sony wants to go in. Okay, cool. You want to bring out AAA bangers like 2 to 3 a year, and you're going to work on the PlayStation Plus subscription service to keep your fan base happy. That's all I was asking. Is that so much to ask? Lion Jim Ryan? Crying Lion Jim Ryan? Is that too much to ask? 2 to 3 AAA bangers, throw them in your subscription service on PC and PS4 and PS5 and wherever else. If you're gonna go to mobile, okay, that's another thing. If you're gonna go to mobile, right, we're gonna need you to make a Game Pass competitor app, because Game Pass, you can play Game Pass on mobile. But as of right now, Sony, I don't think they allow PlayStation to make an app for Android and Apple. Now, see, Apple is going to be a little tricky. Apple is anti-consumer just as much as Sony. Sony is extremely anti-consumer, but Apple has their little funny ways about the whole Fortnite thing. That's why it got kind of took off, because I guess Fortnite got a little anti-consumer as well and didn't want to pay Android and Apple microtransactions and stuff like that. So that got completely wiped off of mobile devices. And I don't even think they want Game Pass on Apple. So you maybe can work a deal out with Android and probably Samsung or whatever, and bring the PlayStation app to TVs and mobile phones and devices, which that would help spread the word. That would help spread gaming, and the community will start to grow in pretty much live streaming game service, cloud gaming. Cloud gaming is the new wave. That's the new movement. That's where the gaming industry is going towards, cloud gaming. That's why Game Pass is so big. They have almost at least 30 million subscribers. And now that they brought the new PlayStation Plus Premium out, I just want to see them go a little bit harder, and I just want to be compete. That's all we're asking. Sony don't want to compete because they're so focused on, how can I rip my fan base off? How can I be more greedy, more grimier, shady to my own fan base? I never seen this as hit. I do not recognize Sony. I just really want them to sell. I hope they fired Lion Jim Ryan up there front office. Bring somebody in. This old dirt bag up there. Get this old gray. Oh my goodness! Just get him out of there. He does not know how to run a brand like PlayStation. It's too much for him. It's too big. It's too to pretty much keep it at a high level. He can't do it. And sometime when you have been at such a high level at the top of the mountains for so long, you got to understand you can kind of flatline. So they're not being as creative as the early generations of PlayStation in the 90s and the early 2000s that we recognize. They're not as creative. It's not even fun. Gaming is dying down over there at Sony. It's not fun. It's like everything is so competitive now. It's like they're stealing the fun and the joy over greed. A premium console is not going to make it fun, because every time I go to get bored and ready to go buy another game, I'm kind of upset on how much I got to spend. And it's just, you're just recycling our money over there. It's just quick cash grabs. It's just overcharging or overpriced, overhyped console. That yes, you have put in the work over the years, but you're still riding off that PS4 wave. This is a new generation between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. So Sony is really going to have to get it together out here in these gaming streets. You cannot just keep overlooking all of your fans and thinking we're not going to say anything about PlayStation not performing and doing the things that we wanted to do. You want to promote 1440p. We wanted to see 2060p 4K up to 120 frames per second. I'm pretty sure they was promoting how powerful the Sony, when it first came out, how powerful. Oh, PlayStation, what about Xbox supposed to be the most powerful console in the world, but PlayStation is performing better. I remember all that, like when it first came out, all that hype died down now, man. 1440p. It's 1440p here, 1440p there. We don't want to hear about no 4. We want to hear 4K 2060p. Do better, Sony. That's all we're asking. Just do better. Make it right with your fan base. I'm not talking to the fanboys and the Sony opponents because they're gonna defend everything Jim Ryan is doing anyway. So I cannot, say anything. It's like talking to a wall. They're just as idiotic as he is. So you can't even talk to him. But I'm going to leave it there, and I want to finish ranting later on. So make sure you guys smash that like, that subscribe button, click that notification bell so you guys can be notified on all of the new latest and greatest news out here in these gaming streets. And if you would like to jump into the PlayStation ecosystem or the Xbox Game Pass Ultimate ecosystem, just click the links down below in the description. If you have a PC only, then make sure you get PlayStation Plus Premium only and Microsoft Xbox Ultimate only. Thank you. Peace.